Welcome back everybody to Let's Play some more Pokemon Blue. Now, in the interest of time, I've done a couple things off screen here. Number one, Pikachu Moo is once again poisoned and everyone else remained in my PC. Yes, we need to pull off the walk-through walls glitch again. So I've already, obviously, poisoned, as you can see. Gone to the Safari Zone, initiated my 500 steps, and yeah. And then jump off the ledge on the right step, and you get transported back here to this lovely room. Now I have another save state right here, which is basically me almost dead from poison, so you don't have to sit there and watch me do this over and over and over again. Just wandering around this room. Now, obviously I mentioned before, walking through a building, or out of one, as the case may be, when that's why you have to faint out of there, will make the glitch go away. Fly doesn't, but talking to initiating a battle with a trainer, or even getting into a random battle, also screws it up, so you want to be careful of that. The other thing, too, is even though the map, I actually don't, well, I can use Fly, too, to just show the map here. Even though the map is obviously contiguous, and even with the walkthrough walls, you can walk around the entire map. Like it's all one thing, individual thing. However, it is not on a grid, so all these areas in green, approximately, you walk into those because there's no data in them, the game will crash, and I will demonstrate you. I already have a save state in Viridian City here for you guys. And where is it? There's an edge of a loading zone somewhere over here. Yeah. That's what's gonna happen. Now, I just have another, pretty much just the same file, just, with me walking around. If you head into Viridian Gym, Giovanni is there. Apparently, I didn't even think of this till after I ended the last episode, that the flag to get in, it's only the flag to get in there, that unlocks the door that you need, obviously, to deal with the Team Rocket plot in Saffron City and get all 7 badges to get in there. But obviously, using this glitch, you can get in there earlier, and Giovanni will still be there as if he's normally would be there. So I could get the Earth badge, but the problem, well, I don't really need to, because I actually don't need it. Now, if you noticed, Douchey is here. This is the initial battle on Route 22 that I skipped right at the start of the game. I'm not sure what event flag makes him disappear from this spot. I think it may be the Boulder badge, because obviously I battled him on the SSN. So it's not subsequent battles that set his bit to be here off, so I'm assuming it's the first badge, which I don't have. And given, you know, the timing and the location, it would sort of make sense. Now, I was somewhat incorrect in the last episode when I say the Boulder badge is not checked. Well, if you go in through normally, it is. But once you get past this room, the other remaining 6 badges that we have are on a different map. And by using, obviously, the walkthrough walls, we're going to bypass the loading zone for that first initial room, thus eliminating our need for the Boulder badge entirely. And of course, the loading zone for this is really weird, like it's all glitchy and everything, but the guys are all still here. Now, because we bypassed the loading zone and are in the second map now it's only going to check the Cascade badge, and up from here on out. I'm not sure why the graphics are glitched here when they're not glitched elsewhere when you walk across the map, save when you obviously walk into a zone that doesn't have any loading data in it. But nonetheless, you can still walk through here safely, so what do I care? Probably because this is a kind of a separate map, and just the data loading is weird or something. I don't know, I'm not a game expert. Now, with Douchey still there, after 6 gym badges, raises a question for me, specifically for Pokemon Yellow. Now, obviously, Blue has an Eevee in Pokemon Yellow, and what Eevee's final evolution is depends on what you have done, whether you lost the first battle or won at the lab, or your actions and your victory, or skipping the battle there on Route 22. You go into that door, that initiates going into Victory Road. That is the loading zone for that. We're just gonna bypass it slightly here. And we are at the Indigo Plateau. That's right, we skipped Victory Road too, which is awesome. Now, it does make me wonder, since obviously in this version, Dushi is still there, despite me actually battling him on the SS Anne. Still waiting. So obviously the bit to get rid of that battle, and you can actually still battle him. If I walk in his loading zone, he'll walk toward me. And I will, indeed, initiate a battle with him. Of course, that means my glitch goes away. So, I'm just buying this stuff as emergency backup because... Oh, I don't have enough money? Alright, so fine, we'll buy 2 then. Because obviously I've lost money from, blacking out, because obviously in these versions, you know, Gen 1, I think Gen 2, I'm not sure which generation stopped it, because I didn't know about it till, like, last year, that obviously you lose half your money when you black out. But anyway, due to all that weird, bit-sitness, I'm just gonna try to take her out with Pound here. I do have some TMs I want to add. And I should have done it beforehand, but I'm too busy talking about Blue and Pokemon Yellow here. So anyway, I wonder, where is the bit set that determines what Gary's team is? Gary, Blue, whatever the hell his name is. And initiates what exactly his EV evolves into. Because his EV doesn't show the first evolution until the battle at Pokemon Tower. Now, there's a couple battles forced before then. Like, obviously, you're forced to battle the lab, and you are forced to battle in the outside of Cerulean City. Sorry, I'm a little tongue-tied there for a second. Because there's no way to bypass that one yet, because obviously to initiate walk through walls, you need access to Saffron City, to Fuchsia City, which you can't get until after you visit Bill. Man, my throat hurts from too much talking. So, I just wonder, and obviously I did that and the battle on the SS Anne in this playthrough, but obviously outside of, you know, whatever bit that makes him disappear in that first battle isn't set yet. So I just wonder what happens if you exploit walk-through walls and do your rival fights out of order. Like, what happens? Like, what happens if you go into Pokemon Tower, before you set the bit of whether or not you've won or lost that Route 22 fight? Like, will the game crashed? Is there a failsafe for a default? Is the bit set some more time before then? I don't know, and I'm really, really curious about that, and if no one knows the answer, I may find out for myself someday, but obviously that's going to take time, and starting a whole new file, and getting to the point where I can walk through walls, and blah 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 blah, and doing a lot of testing. So if anyone who wants to screw around with these games and all these glitches and have a blast, who wants to do some research and find that out, I will be thrilled. And I'm really regretting not putting my TMs in first, because I'm going to give Pikachu Mew 3 of them that I already have in my inventory. And on the first run, where I died because I didn't have any emergency backups because I got paralyzed and confused, and that completely screwed me over. Which is why I bought these emergency items. And I completely curb stomped her. Like, totally. Like, the battle was over in, to me, what felt like 15 seconds. It was absolutely nuts. Don't get me wrong, it was utterly hilarious, but we'll take this as a challenge right now, alright? How about that? That is going to hurt. Actually, that did pretty much shit. Haha, you missed! Now, what is the accuracy on, Blizzard and... Haha, critical hit, loser! Blizzard and Thunder in Gen 1. Is it still 70%? Because I remember growing up, the first thing I did in Gary's fight was Thunder his Pidgeot. And probably because I had the battle timed down to like the frame. I'm dead serious because I literally like timed every motion with the music, that I was pretty much kind of tool assisting it in live action, so to speak. But I don't recall like ever missing with thunder. But I want to say the accuracy is still 70 or 75 or something in Gen 1, and I'm too lazy to go actually look that up right now. I'm just curious. Anyway, while I'm doing this, I have another Pokemon story from my youth, and by youth I mean my teenage years. One year my best friend and I actually dressed up as Team Rocket for Halloween, and went trick-or-treating as such. Now, not like the Jesse and James white shirt, black Team Rocket. I'm talking about like the traditional black shirt people. I still don't understand why they were white, but that's neither here or there. It doesn't really matter all that much in the grand scheme of things. But anyway, it just so happens that year, one kid in the neighborhood was actually dressed as Pikachu. And hilarity ensued, and we were unintentionally actually chasing this poor kid around, because the way the neighborhood is set up, it's kind of all in circles, so once you're on a path, you just, just keep going around the edges, sort of. So it's not like we were intentionally doing it, but we did find it hilarious. And to this day, I don't know if the kid was actually genuinely playing along and being fearful and running away, or if we actually scared the crap out of the poor child. I don't know, and I don't know if it's acceptable that we were creeping him up because it was Halloween and all, or honestly, I don't know. But it was pretty funny. At least at the time. Like I said, I don't know if I traumatized that poor kid or not. But even so, because of that, my best friend is actually very fond of the name Jessie. So when it comes to like in-game avatars that you name and stuff like that, she, to this day, more than 10 years later, she always chooses the name Jessie. Now, she spells it different, but to this day, she still uses it. In fact, her Mii in 3DS, is indeed named Jessie. It does actually look like my best friend. Like, she doesn't actually, like, in games where you actually get to choose how your avatar looks, which, frankly, aren't that many. She doesn't, like, make it, like, look like Jessie from Pokemon. She makes it look like her actual self. But not that she goes by that in, like, real life or anything like that. It's just, just a fun nickname, of which I've had a few over the years myself. Mostly just online, rather than in real life. Although when Skype and Ventrilo came around and I would be talking to my friends from Maple Story, that's how I got the nickname Cats, which is obviously what I still use on like Skype, and like why I name my in-game avatars when I'm Let's Playing. That's pretty much why. And apparently Agatha here had the hots for Mr. Pokemon Prof. And she actually gets points for, being a hot kick-ass grandma here. I like her for that. Look, she's even got a cane and everything, and she fights with freaking ghost-type Pokemon. She is laughing. The day she kicks the bucket, she is gonna be rolling over a grave at everybody. Being like, ha, bitches. I like Agatha. She cool. Just for that. Because, old people need to be made heroes and get some love too and everything like that. Golbat freaked me the hell out playing this game in general. Look at that tongue. It's just like this thing, like now it doesn't faze me as much. I think it's creepy as hell, but back in the day that genuinely scared me. Like when you run into them in like Seafoam Islands and things like that, I would be deathly afraid of running into those things. And that's one of the reasons actually why I hate Seafoam Islands. The other thing is obviously the stupid strength boulder puzzle you need to do to get Articuno and to get actually out of that place. Like, that place is not that straightforward. And for that's one reason why I hate it. This is where I ended up slowly losing last time, because this stupid friggin' Jurgot paralyzed me. Okay, you're gonna use oh! I was gonna say, and like I can actually get out of this stupid thing without being paralyzed or poisoned in the process, and no, she had to go prove me wrong. That's alright, we're still doing good. So yeah, I actually ended up, like, losing. Or, well, not really losing, but I ended up in deep crap because of the paralysis and confusion these guys inflicted on me. And and I didn't have like any emergency items, so I had to like skip halfway after the recording, and I'm like, no, I told an epic story, and I went through some technical bullcrap and had to go through that all over again. And I've barely taken a breath between these 2 episodes, so goddamn, my throat is yawning. It's kind of sore, and I don't know if you can tell that in here, but oh my god, ugh. I love this. The epic walk with the epic music. Some games nowadays, like I made a bitch fight about this in Final Fantasy IV The After Years because there was no epic walk with epic music to the final boss. It was just silence. And it's like, where is it? Where's the build up here? Just, there was nothing. But here you get the epic music and the epic awesomeness, and I am gonna heal up just in case. I'm gonna be a cheap ass. Because I don't want to have to do this a 3rd time. I've been screwing up this LP so much, mainly because most of the glitches I've been doing, such as the long range training glitch and obviously the walkthrough walls especially, even though I've been doing a little practice and testing before I've been recording, the start of this LP is the first time I've actually done this stuff. So I'm not exactly, like, comfortable with it yet, and, like, I'm comfortable with the concepts and everything like that, but actual execution and commentating over it and while playing the game and trying to simultaneously pay attention to everything that happens is just a little bit overwhelming, in a good way. But hey, Asian Dragon Pikachu, it's your cousin! I'm terribly sorry I have to go kick his ass now. I wish you could skip that experience, stupid message. I'm gonna punch you. I didn't like Dragonair's graphics in this. Although, I'm still wondering why he has 2 level 56 Dragonairs and didn't frickin' evolve them. I don't want this serpentine-looking thing, even though did nothing against Dragonair or anything. I want a frickin' full-fledged, fat-ass winged dragon that can, like, fly around the globe in, like, 16 hours, or whatever the crap it was. Look at those tiny hands, you poor Aerodactyl. Take your illegal Dragonite Lance and shove it. Shove it hard. For those who don't know, or are unaware, or just memory doesn't serve, this Dragonite knows Barrier, which in any generation or incarnation, Dragonite cannot learn through any method. Which makes him a cheating bastard. Lance himself is cool though. I like Lance, because why? Because he's a frickin' Dragon Master, and dragons are awesome. Look at that badass cape he's got too. Yeah, out on a technicality here. Yeah, he's been that way for like all of like 5 minutes. I wouldn't necessarily want to be Pokémon League champion though if I have to just like sit in a room here, because obviously given the journey here and the impact and whatever, that like pretty much nobody gets this far. So what? It's like I'm doomed to like just stand in this room and just wait for somebody along to kick me off my pedestal? Yeah, but if you're sitting here in a room with nothing to do, that doesn't mean shit. That's probably why, you know, obviously once this game's over and sometime in the near term, you know, in the next 3 years, I'm going to leave my post as Pokemon League champion, hand it over to Lance, and go sit in Mount Silver for some odd reason, which pretty much resigns me to the same goddamn fate, because I don't need to be there training if I'm already the most powerful trainer in the world, but at least I'm not sitting in a room. Maybe he just wants the mountain life or whatever. I don't know. Don't know. I'm reading too much into this. It's a stupid Pokemon game. Well, not that Pokemon is stupid, but y'all know what I mean. I'm gonna punch you right in that fat-ass nose and mustache. Yeah. I wish I'd known way back in the day, because I didn't pay attention to stats. I play Pokemon for fun, and I will never, ever competitively battle, guys. Ever. Do not ever ask me to. even if I get like Black and White or Black and White 2 or anything like that, do not ever ask me that, because I don't do that. I play these games, well, I play these games rather, to have fun. Although I did have like battles with my best friend and whatnot, and others in school who did dabble in Pokemon. Once obviously you had the infrared technology of the Game Boy Color and could battle other people in the trainer house and everything like that. I did have a few people there. Oh, missed. That was stupid. But anyway, speaking of that, but since I didn't pay attention to the stats too much, I didn't realize that Alakazam, despite having a high special, has a really low defense. So any like offense, it just regular physical moves would just knock him out. But since that knowledge wasn't really that prevalent in Gen 1, like you didn't know, like there's so much in this game that is just not said, that is made so much more clear in other generations, such as, you know, why did I do that? I wasn't paying attention at all there, I'm sorry. Oh, that is bullshit. I am so used to, actually fighting, because I always chose Bulbasaur, although, well, not always, considering I played my Pokemon Blue cartridge literally, like, to the death. I'm used to fighting Dragonite here instead. The hell was I just talking about? Oh my god, I forgot. That's what I want to use here. But, oh, anyway, yeah, in more recent generations, obviously, you know, like, what the actual attack power of the moves is. Does it focus on your special stat? Does it focus on your physical stat? And now does it make contact? Does it not make contact? There's so many more moves and abilities and everything like that. But in Gen 1, that wasn't made clear. So you didn't really know which moves were actually the best, because sometimes you would just assume that, obviously, ones you learned at higher levels were better, even though that necessarily wasn't true. Like, take something like Solar Beam, which obviously is pretty high attack power, but it takes a turn to charge. And due to how critical hits work in this version, Razor Leaf kicks some serious frickin' ass. So it was more technically worth your while to keep Razor Leaf over Solar Beam. I kept both because I was an idiot back then, but like I said, you really didn't know these things. And because the internet was, you know, new and sucky and everything, you know, like back then, there was no really resources to research this and look this up and make it available for other players. Because, like, video game guidebooks don't generally have actual math formulas in here. Now, this doesn't make any sense to me at all. Despite the fact that I named Blue Douchey, there's nothing to suggest that he was anything but kind to his Pokemon. Yes, was he a jerk to us? Yes, there is no denying that, because he'd always be bragging in our face every step of the way. But, with the exception of his Raticate, his team pretty much stays consistent throughout the entire game. So yes, he has made close friends with at least several members of his Pokemon team and used them to advantage, and he does end up taking out the Elite Four all by himself as a result of it. So, what? Jerk to me, but not necessarily a jerk to his team. And obviously, later on... Actually, no, I'm thinking about something else. Yeah, so basically... Blue gets here 5 minutes early, just because, like, we're dragging along and making friends with our Pokemon. There's anything wrong with that, mind you. And, oh, it's 7 Pokemon. Shut up. 3 hours and 20 minutes, and that was with dicking around. Yeah, the game that took like 20 hours to defeat and everything like that. But yeah, I mean, Blue isn't really that bad of a guy. I just named him Douchey just to be a jerk. And of course, you know, Professor Oak is like all dismissive and thinks we're much cooler than his own grandson, for crying out loud. Yeah, tell me who's the real dick here, Professor? Seriously, are you boning my mother? Is that why you have such fondness for me? Is that it? And I know I just totally... instilled the need for brain bleach in a bunch of people, but I'm sure somebody else somewhere else was thinking of that. So take a sip of my drink to soothe my itchy throat. So yeah, that was Let's Play Pokemon Blue. Series is a bit shorter than I initially anticipated this being. Like, I initially anticipated this be at least 15 to 20 episodes, but I was discovering things off screen along the way and testing in between episodes. I'm like, this thing is gonna be over so quickly, and it's just bittersweet in that regard. But I am happy with it in the fact that obviously, playing the crap out of this game growing up, putting all that hard work and all those resets, and actually, you know, ended up defeating the Elite Four and becoming the champion was just this awesome victory, and I just completely freaking curb stomped the game, for crying out loud, without cheating. Well, that technical cheating, because like I said, everything I have done is possible on a real cartridge. It may take you more resets, which is why I kind of abuse save states here, in order to pull some of this off, but it is indeed possible. So, but this LP is not quite done yet. There's a couple more things I want to show off. And that's the reason why I duplicated all my rare candies. Well, not all. All meaning the one single one I had, and my calciums. There's a reason for that. And I still have 17 Pokeballs, crying out loud. But yeah, there's a reason I duplicated these two items, and that will be made clear next time on the bonus of Let's Play Pokemon Blue. Hello, Chicky Poo, how are you doing? Yeah, and then you can actually leave the village for once. Actually, what does Professor say? Oh, he doesn't say anything about me being Pokemon champion or anything like that. That's kind of stinky. I love how they make the buzzer noises and you suck. Yeah, what was that about making friends with my Pokemon? It's easier to make friends with my Pokemon and share close bonds with them the less I have. So you're all about making friends, but make a zillion of a frickin' them. This is not Facebook, Professor. This is real life. Sort of. Kind of. Maybe. I don't know. You know, I should test if you can actually walk through walls and get to the grass in that area, or if your game is gonna, or if that's outside the loading zone, your game is gonna crash. Or if there's actually encounters there. I should test that out! And I'll let you know when I find, next time in the bonus episode. So, thank you everyone for watching. Stay tuned, cause there's more on Let's Play Pokemon Blue.